I love what you were saying again about the dark places, because I know that when I am getting ready to do a performance, I'll be at home and you gradually transform from a man into a woman, and you got the makeup, you got the lashes, you got the wig, then you get ready, right? You get to the club, you're there, everyone sees you, but there's something about that moment of performing that's like, I've rehearsed it, I know what I'm going to do, but something just takes over. And something just moves through me, and it's like a whole new expression of who I am, and I can't control it. It just does what it does. I have no power over it, It's just like that sacred fire that just moves through, and it's got to do what it's got to do, because I got to be who I got to be, because I chose this lifetime to be that, you know? And that is just like this unstoppable thing that has brought me through so many dark places, is that sacred fire of that being right there, and being that person.
And it's almost like your body and your words and your emotions are like superseding themselves. Like before you can even think about it, it's like whoosh.
You just do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just done, and it's
like
just
you're
like
channeling something.
Absolutely.
I was reading this book in India, where like way out in the wilderness, people get together and they go into these deep trances, and they just all of a sudden they put on this headdress, and as soon as they put on the headdress, they embody this like divine energy, and they do this whole sacred dance, and people come and stay up all night to watch them do this.
That sounds like a drag show.
I know, right? Right? And they just go into these like deep trances, and then they take off the headdress, and they don't remember what they just did. They have to watch it on camera, because it's just like you're so in the moment. It's just this unstoppable force that just like moves through, and we get to be the people that channel it.
Right.
Totally.
I mean, I do like theatrical work as well, like plays and stuff, and it's just like I feel that. It's like you step onto that stage, it's like you have all the components, all the parts, and you just gotta let it go. Because it's just like, and then once it's all done, you're like, whoa, what just happened? And you're like, all right, and you're totally about it.
And you see pictures of it, and you're like, was that me?
Right?
Was I doing that? Like, who am I to do that?
Right.
Because it's like your most powerful self in that moment.
It's like, look how the light caught me in that picture.
Right?
Like, I didn't even know.
So is that a moment of vulnerability or a moment of strength?
I think it's a moment of power.
And I think power is a balance of both.
Right. Vulnerability breeds that power, that strength.
People think that drag is about putting on this face and being like pretending, but for me it's about expressing something that isn't expressed the rest of the time. So it's not pretending, it's like expressing more of who I am.
Letting it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's the thing also that I want to challenge the other performers. Is like, how can you be more vulnerable on stage? I feel like in theater, when I'm just kind of like boy myself, it's like, yes, that's what I strive for, that vulnerability. That's what people want to watch. Have you heard of Brene Brown? Well, I love me some Brene Brown. But she talks about the art of vulnerability and how the word, she says daring greatly. And it's just like, yes, people like to watch that person in the arena like battle this like bull or something, you know what I mean? It's like people live for these moments of this like great feat. And what's the greatest feat than being your true vulnerable self? And that's why people go to the theater, because they see these people living these like human experiences, or very like heightened experiences.
Right.
It's almost like watching a car wreck, but it's more entertaining, more like actually more positive. But it's just like, that's why people go see drag shows, and it's just like when you're feeling a song and you are like invested in it, and like those words, you are meaning every word that is coming out of your mouth. People are like, wow, like they don't care about your makeup, or they don't care that your seam is coming undone. It's just like, she is living. You know what I mean? And that's what people enjoy, and I think they take away from that the courage almost to kind of like do whatever is next in their lives. You know what I mean? I think it's courageous. It's very courageous. And courageous, the cur in courageous is Latin for heart. And it's just like, your heart is just in it. You know? So yeah.
When someone sees me perform, I love it if they love it.
Yeah.
I love it if they want to give me the dollars and the praise. But I really love it if someone has that moment of questioning, like, what is that person doing right now? Like, who are they a man or a woman? Like, what are they trying to be? What are they trying to do?
Yeah.
And if they can then take that questioning and almost see me as a mirror of them, and see them asking that question to themselves, and to really like look inside themselves, that's an amazing moment.
Right. Or that person that's like, I don't necessarily get there,
yes,
but they're living.
But that's fierce.
And it's like,
they're invested, like you said.
I want to live too.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's just like totally random, but like when I saw Katie Lang perform, and I think what you talked about was kind of like taking to that place where it's like, I'm not a huge fan of Katie Lang. I didn't really know her music, but I got to go to a concert and I was like so close she could like spit on me. She kind of did a little, but
she did a little bit.
You know, and she was like she was barefoot and she sang so effortlessly, and she was just like, and she was amongst her people, she said, and she just, you could just tell that she was just loving that moment, maybe more than any other time I don't know, it was like she was living in that moment, and like I was more touched by that than what, like you said, like what was going on, but it was beautiful. Like, she was amazing, but like just to see people in that moment, and I definitely come to that time in my life when you notice when people are connected with themselves.
Yeah.
And that is such an awesome thing to get to see happen with other people, and that's what I heard you talking about.
No, absolutely. And this like made me think of this. I went to like my first like heavy metal concert, and like I'm an R&B and like hip hop girl, you know, and gospel and all that stuff. But it's just like I went to my first like heavy metal concert with a friend of mine, and it's like heavy metal, like headbanging, long hair, like I was the only black person there, I'm sure. But it was like I went. And it was just like they were so in it, and you feel the music, and it's like it overcame me, and I was like, yeah, I was like bobbing my head with it because I was just like they were in it, and you want to be in there too with them because you're just like, yes, this is it. It's that energy. There's energy in everything. You know what I mean? It's energy and there's love. You know what I mean? And the camera that's coming at us, but it's just like, what is that energy doing? You know, how does that make me feel? And what is it making me do? What is it making us do? Like, I don't know, I think that's very...
So what does your spirituality look like? How would you define your spirituality, or how does your spirituality define you? Like, what does it look like? What are the nuts and bolts, so to speak?
So how long should we talk? For an hour?
Nuts and bolts and spirituality.
No, I mean, I can start.
Yeah, what jumps out?
I really love the idea that to be spiritual is to be creating. You know, every moment we have a choice. What are you creating in this moment? And to me, that's spirituality. You know, and, you know, I could talk about my background. I've studied Christianity and Hinduism and Buddhism and everything, you know, in between those things. And it's all honestly saying the same thing at the end of the day. It's saying that we're all one. You know, we're all connected. We're all of the same energy, the same essence. The divinity that flows through me is the same divinity that flows through you. So when I am giving something to you, I'm receiving that benefit too, you know? And just at the same time, when I'm pointing a finger at you, I got 3 fingers pointing right back at me. And so it's this constant flow of just like being in this channel of creating each moment. And when you realize that, then you get to have the choice of saying, well, what do I want to create? What do I want my life to be, you know?
Right.
And that's an amazing point.
Nice.
When you stop being a victim and you start consciously creating.
So creation is spirituality for you.
Absolutely.
How about you, Cleo?
I mean, a lot of the things that Tration said, like seriously.
This girl's my soul sister! My sister!
Yeah, right. But it's just
and you
like,
guys just met today.
Right, we just met today, but we probably met in years,
Lifetimes.
decades, you know, centuries. But yeah, I mean, for me, my spirituality is just kind of like, for me, when I wake up in the morning and I get down on my knees and pray, there is an energy and an air to that moment, you know, that moment of surrender. How can I take that energy and put it into situations where I'm dealing with difficult people? How can I tap into that? You know, it's hard. And that's the thing, spirituality, you know, it's those situations where it's like sometimes you're like, whew, like you get a little like sweaty under your arms, or you're just like a little fever comes over you, like, okay, I'm uncomfortable in this situation. Why am I uncomfortable in this situation? This is something about me. You know what I mean? Or it's something about them. But it's just like you're able to just like get outside yourself and look at the connectivity to everything. That's what spirituality is kind of like for me. It's like, how can I look outside myself and see this as one thing, not all these different things? Yeah. And also, how can I, whenever there's somebody that I'm like, kind of, like, it was one of my coworkers that I was just kind of like up against, you know? And I'm just like, how can I look at this person as someone who's probably going through something, who is suffering, you know what I mean? And this is something that is just like not about me, it's about this, you know, person. And it's like, how can I offer the same compassion to others that I would give to my close friends or my family?
Yes.
And also, how can I, that compassion I give to my close loved ones, how can I give that to myself too, you know? As when you said that victim part, I'm like, wow, that's one of my character defects. You know what I mean? Of just like wanting to live in that victim mentality. You know, and it's just like, no, it's like, I'm so not a victim. You know what I mean? I am a survivor, okay, and a fighter. And it's just like, yeah, how can we just like take our pain and put it aside to hear someone else's pain? And how can we compare those two and see the parallels and how we're connected, honestly?
Yeah. Well, and for me, I feel like too, one of the things that are coming to mind is like, I like, as I get older, it's like nothing seems to really like, none of these labels seem, like I never really seem to quite fit in those boxes. Like no matter how queer the box gets or how like